Audio.etc. is proudly supported by Auto Sound and Security. Hey guys, how's it going? James here from Audio.etc. I finally got a haircut. So today I just want to talk to you guys a little bit real quickly about my camera situation that I'm sure some of you might have been wondering about. You've probably been hearing me complaining about it in the last few videos that I've been making, and some progress has been made, some steps have been taken forwards and backwards, and all sorts of things been happening, and I just want to kind of give you guys an update as to what's happening with that if you're interested. So for the majority of my channel now, I've been filming on what I'm currently filming on, which is my GoPro Hero 4 Silver Edition, and it's been doing a really good job. It's been, you know, thrown around and beaten up, and like, it's done a really good job. I've loved it. It's very lightweight, compact. It's been doing a great job getting into those tiny spaces and also just setting it up on a time lapse really easily and quickly to cover a lot of work over a long period of time, because in car audio there are a lot of those sort of situations where there isn't much talking to be done, and it really is just a case of having to have your head down and do a whole lot of working when I'm replacing speakers or a stereo or something like that. And though I do, you know, talk to you guys about it, not everything needs to be said, and sometimes I just want to fill in the gap in a video with a time lapse, and it's just been really good for that. And it's small, and the battery power is pretty decent, but it has been lacking in a few things that I've kind of been wanting to change recently. The first sort of thing I wanted to start changing was the audio quality. At the moment I'm just using the built-in microphone on the GoPro. It is actually pretty decent. I think the Hero 4 was the best microphone ever to come in a GoPro. Once they started going into the Hero 5 and Hero 6 in session, they started making them waterproof and semi-waterproof, and that's when microphones took a dip as well, because though you gain waterproofness out of it, they have to like make the microphone a bit more sealed, and I don't know, like, obviously waterproof microphones are just a different type of technology and they don't pick up as good a sound. So I really like the microphone in this camera. It did a really good job for pretty much all of season 1 and a good portion of season 2 of Audio.etc. But I started getting annoyed with it just because there's always that background echo, especially in the workshop, which is a great big concrete room. There's a lot of background echo, and I really wanted to start also demoing to you guys a bit more of what it sounds like in these vehicles once I've upgraded the sound of them, and I feel like the built-in microphone really wasn't doing it justice. So I started investigating into doing microphones for the GoPro. I have had this one for quite a while, just a cheap thing on eBay. I never really ended up using it, so there's not much to say about that one. I never used it, but I bought that quite a while back thinking I might, but I didn't. But just recently I did start using microphone. So first thing I did was I bought a GoPro, not a GoPro, a third-party cheap Chinese microphone adapter, and I was doing a lot of research online, and I knew that there was a very slim chance of this sort of thing actually working, but I was dead set against getting the actual GoPro microphone adapter, because if you've ever seen it, it's like, here's a GoPro USB cable. It's like this. It just sticks straight out, and that right there is like a third of the width of the GoPro. So that's another whole thing sticking out from it. So what a lot of people really prefer is these nice little right angle ones, because they tuck it away a bit better. But the thing is, GoPro don't make their own version of it, so you have to get a cheap Chinese one. So I did that, and I actually found online a solution to get these working, because most of the time you plug these cheap Chinese ones in and they just straight up don't work. It doesn't go into microphone mode, it just keeps on using the built-in microphone. So I found the solution online, which if I have the photo I'll chuck it up on screen. All you have to do to get the microphone adapter working is solder a resistor between two of the pins, can't remember how many ohm, that bridge out a connection and tell the GoPro to go into microphone mode. So I did that on the first one, and then it wasn't working, and so being kinda sneaky about it, I put it back together, emailed the supplier saying, hey, your GoPro microphone adapter doesn't work. Oh, I don't know. And they're like, oh, sorry about that, we'll send you another one. And so they did that, and I'm persistent. I had another go. This one I got working. So now that my microphone adapter works, I tested it with this microphone, and I tested it with this microphone, which I'll talk about in a second. So that was all good, but then then disaster struck, and I noticed for some reason I could no longer charge my GoPro through the USB cable. And I tried this genuine GoPro USB cable, I tried that genuine GoPro USB cable, I tried charging it off my iMac, I tried charging it off my genuine GoPro power bank, and I tried a cheap USB cable as well. Nothing was working through that USB port. I knew it wasn't a problem with the batteries, because I've got this battery and two others, one genuine one, two fake ones, and I was able to charge them off what I'm using at the moment, my cheap GoPro battery charger, like a Chinese one. So it charges just the batteries. So the batteries are fine, but for some reason it won't charge through the port. I don't know if that means that I have somehow damaged the pins in the port by pushing this in and out too many times or something. I don't know if the resistance in this has caused something in there to short out and it no longer charges. Basically, no more charging system. I have tried the methods that people suggest where you take the battery out, hold the power and the shutter button for like 30 seconds or something, and then leave it and try. I've tried everything to get it going, but it's just straight up working, so I gave up on it. I was recently in touch with GoPro about it, having a chat with someone, and I sent them a picture of the port, I sent them a picture of the purchase, I sent them a picture of the purchase receipt. When I bought the camera, it was in late 2014, I think. Yeah, mid to late 2014, and I got a 2-year warranty on it, which by now is over a year past warranty, so they can't help me. It's out of warranty. GoPro aren't going to help. So I was like, okay, so I just had to accept that. And with all of the batteries coming in and out of the GoPro, going onto that cheap charger, getting charged up and discharged again, it's probably not the best charger. I think I'm slowly deteriorating my GoPro battery life. And so now my GoPro battery life is definitely, in the space of a few weeks, gone down significantly. It just does not last. I'm always having to change the batteries. And that's when I started complaining about it in all my videos, and it probably got annoying for you guys. So that was the whole drama with the microphone. At the same time as I was buying this microphone adapter and microphones and stuff, I was thinking I'd really like to build up this GoPro rig. You know, like I want to get a bit more professional with it. So I bought this shotgun microphone off eBay. It is just a cheap one, but it looks kind of cool. It comes with this little pop filter. It mounts to a cold shoe, like professional camera mount. It's got off 90 degree and 120 degree mode. I thought surely, even though this is cheap, this will be better than the built-in GoPro microphone. And I think it was. Like, it definitely, to me, didn't sound... I don't know, there was less bass for one. I don't know why that is. This is more vocal range. But it definitely helped shut out all that sort of background noise issue I was having with the big echoey room. And it sounded better when I was playing music at loud volumes in the car. So this, I'm still happy with. It was a good buy. It was a bit dodgy to begin with because, did a video a while ago, because the shaft between where this thing threads on and off and the actual body weren't one solid piece of plastic, they were loose, and so I had to put a whole bunch of super glue around there to fix that issue because there was a whole lot of knocking transferring through into the microphone. So I fixed that issue. I bought this, might have seen a few of these on eBay. Nice CNC aluminiumed rig thing, which was gonna hold my microphone, just like that. I have this little torch thing. I made like a little mount. It's got just a 3.5mm jack on it for charging. I made a little mount out of a connection there and a piece of 1/4-inch thread, and now this can just like sort of thread into the side here. And with the GoPro in there, that was quite a cool little rig, and it was working. The other thing I did forget to say that was, I'm pretty sure using the GoPro mic adapter, that was also making my battery last even less than what it does if I use the built-in microphone. So I had a seriously cool rig going on here, and I even bought one of these, again all off eBay, because less of this stuff isn't as available in New Zealand. But I even bought this like dual lens kit thing, which comes with a macro lens, which I thought would be really cool because it meant I could show you some up close stuff for some of my installs. So that's a macro lens, and then this is supposed to be a super wide lens attachment. I'm not really sure what the point of this is when the GoPro itself has a built-in wide mode, but I was but like that all screws on, and it looks like a seriously cool GoPro rig. I could seriously see myself professionally making videos with this and vlogging even. It looks cool. This super wide lens thing, absolute garbage, waste of time. Really nice quality, like built out of aluminium, but it kept cropping the image unless I had the GoPro set on narrow mode, which to me was pointless. So I never ended up using that lens kit at all. So with all this going on, I just was really starting to think to myself, I just need a new camera. This GoPro has served me well for many years, but I think it's starting to reach its best before date. And I'd known for quite a long time that I had wanted to go up to I wanted to get a DSLR. I wanted like a full-on, I call it a Casey Neistat rig, with a Gorilla Pod and a DSLR and a lens and a proper microphone. I'd wanted that for a long time. I think they're really cool. I like to make videos, obviously about car audio and other stuff, so I'd always wanted one of those. And if I could do it, if I could afford to jump from very simple to very expensive and awesome, I would do it. I don't like taking middle steps if I can. I'm very, I live to be efficient and try and, take as few steps to get to my destination. So I started doing my research. I started doing my research online, seeing what people were recommending at the time, and the biggest thing that was popping up on YouTube, everyone was raving about it just recently, is the Canon EOS Rebel SL2. Took me a while to figure out that, and if you're in New Zealand, that's called the Canon 200D. Everyone was saying it's a great camera, great starter DSLR, which really stood out to me. Very small body for a DSLR, which stood out to me because I'm used to a GoPro, so it's lightweight and it's small. That's ideal for in cars because cars do have tight spaces. So I felt like, even though I hadn't really, shopped around and looked at that many things, all the selling features of that camera were pretty much exactly what I was looking for. So I was just doing that and finding out prices in New Zealand. Turns out the very camera I'm looking for is on sale for 1 or 2 more days only at my local electronics store, down from, what was it, was going to be retail at $11.29 down to $8.99. So I thought that's a lot sooner than I thought I was going to have to pay for a camera, but fuck it, I just forked out, I just dropped my pants and paid for it. So now I've got myself my Canon DSLR. So far I really like it. The kit lens that it comes with is now I'll probably say a whole bunch of shit that is wrong, 18 to 55mm lens. So far, okay, because I've made a video with it today at work, which I will be uploading next after this one. I was just going to upload that video, but I thought I never really did a unveiling of the camera, and I also wanted to explain a couple things about how I was filming with this today to prepare you guys, because it might not be one of my best videos. So far, I really like it. It's got everything I need. This, compared to the 70D, the 80D is shorter and narrower and lighter. It's only like 400 or 500 grams or something like, there's 450 grams or something like that. It's got the, it's got the fold out screen, so I can do it like this. The reason I haven't got it on a Joby pod or a Gorilla pod at the moment is because I left it at work, so I can't show you what it looks like, but I didn't use it on that today because that thing has seen some wear and tear, and the main piece that you mount the camera to keeps popping on and off the legs, and I was not about to, let my $900 brand new camera with a frickin' glass lens just drop on the floor because I was using a cheap, stand. So anyway, long story short, I'm now filming with this thing. So far I really like it. The battery life, it's rated to, I think, in warm weather to get maybe about 2 hours of constant recording battery life, which should be, in theory, totally enough for me to be able to film an episode a day. But obviously you guys know that I film quite a lot and then cut it down a lot or speed up sections. I do try to fill in sections with time lapses if I think to do it, but the amount of material that you guys actually see on the screen versus what I actually record is probably quite tiny. I have so much raw data, it's ridiculous. But the good news is, so far it lasted, I'd say, about 80 or 90% of today, battery life wise, and that was just on its very first charge, because I got it home, I put the battery on the charge, and I just played with it all night because it's a new toy and I had to get used to it. So I think it's going to be a good addition to the film kit that I've got for my channel. Lens, how am I happy with the lens? I really like the lens. I think it's very good starter kit lens. It's got some zoom to it. I really like the fast zoom, like that's so much fun, you know, just as opposed to a GoPro which has no zoom, or a point and shoot which goes like just a real slow one. You can just be like, so the zoom is very fast, the autofocus is very good. But I will probably change this lens out at some point as soon as I can afford it. Not sure what brand I'll go, I have to do some research, but I'd quite like to get a bit more slimline wide angle lens, I think. I know I was just sort of starting to get away from filming with the GoPro in wide mode and moving into linear mode. I just would like this to be just slightly wider FOV than what this one is, because with this camera way out here, it sort of captures about that much of my face, which is quite a lot. So it could be a bit wider. I just need to get a new one of those. I've already ordered off eBay 2 glass screen protectors for this screen, but they'll probably be a while away, so I will have got some of those on the way. Today I did film with this shitty, excuse the language, shotgun microphone. Fire it out of a shotgun. And I think it might have ruined the video. It sounds pretty crap. I don't know why. On the GoPro, after I superglued this thing, it was sounding all good. But for some reason, maybe I just didn't have it tight enough, I don't know. For some reason I was getting a whole lot of knocking. I've just been editing it, and I was getting a lot of knocking and vibration sound throughout it. And actually, especially if I'm recording and I go like this, for some reason all that movement was picked up in the mic on this microphone up here. So I really need to test and see if that is the case with the built-in stereo microphones, because I haven't actually heard what they sound like yet. I've only listened to it with this thing. But regardless, it's kind of moot because I am still 100% determined to get myself a Rode Video Micro, which is about the same, I think, lengthwise as this, but it's essentially the same thing as this, but much better quality, a better microphone, like an actual brand. This isn't branded. This takes a battery. It has a switch on the side which I keep forgetting to turn on and off, so I could be recording without audio. Fortunately that hasn't happened yet, but I can see myself easily forgetting to turn this on and record a whole video. Whereas the Rode Video Micro doesn't have a switch, it's just passive, so that's very easy for me. And I think the main thing that's going to make a difference is that it's supported in like its own little mini suspension system. So whatever vibrations there are in the camera shouldn't get transferred into it. So I'm looking forward to getting that, and I think it should seriously help with the sound quality of my videos. Only thing I'm unsure is what I want to do is for a tripod for this, because today I used like a telescopic adjustable tripod thing. I ordered another one of those Gorilla Pods with the quick release, same as what I've got for my GoPro, but if it's got that loose connection at the top again, I'm thinking maybe I should have got the other style, which as opposed to having a quick release, just gets threaded in kind of semi-permanently. If any of you guys are camera guys or vloggers, give me some recommendations for what stands or what tripods or, you know, handles I can use for this thing. You guys know how I like to film. I do like to hold the camera out in front of me and talk to it as I'm walking, and then set it down and set it up. So the Gorilla Pods are really the best sort of thing. I don't know, maybe I just need to replace them more often, because they still work, but the GoPro is obviously much lighter than this, and so putting this on it, it just kept wanting to fall over and pop off its connection. Because there's like, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, the Gorilla Pod that I use, or the flexible tripod, it's a whole lot of ball and socket connections. And at the very top, right underneath the quick release for the camera, there was one ball and socket which just kept slipping on and off, and I didn't want to entrust the life of my camera to that slippery ball and socket connection. So I don't know what I'm going to do for that. I have got another one of those things on the way, but maybe I won't end up using it now. What I kind of need is like a tripod which has just got 3 solid legs which just fold out, but is, you know, a decent size. Like a tripod like the one I've got this standing on, but has like maybe 30cm legs, because those aren't going to be flexible and able to buckle under weight. I don't know. If any of you guys are photography people, please feel free to drop me links or let me know in the comments what you would recommend. Is that all I wanted to talk about? Basically, yeah, I just kind of wanted to make this video to show you the new camera, let you know what my impressions are so far after using it for a day, and also sadly, I guess, try to give you a warning about the next video. I tried my best on, like, you gotta give me, you know, a little bit of slack. It was my first day ever filming with this camera, which is a huge change from a GoPro. So you'll have to excuse me wanting to use that fast zoom over and over again. It's very exciting for me, so I use that way too much. And also I didn't really capture the whole day. I think I did eventually run out of battery. That ran out of battery, I didn't take the charger to work, and I've only got one battery anyway. The GoPro ran out of battery, so I kind of ran out of devices to record on. I didn't want to resort to using my 5S, like 8 megapixel camera. That would have just looked grainy and terrible. I mean my iPhone 5S 8 megapixel camera. So I'm gonna, after I've made this video, make a closeout for that video here. Future, what do I want to do in the future? As I said, I do want to get a wide angle lens to go with that one. That's probably all I'd really need. If you can get wide angle lenses that still have a zoom feature, I do like that. That'll probably be ideal. The Rode Video micro microphone, I'm very sold and happy on that. I need to get a new stand. And what was the other thing I was going to say? Oh, something I really want to do, because I think hopefully it'll work. I've seen people do it. It seems very popular amongst vloggers or videographers who do record for long periods of time. So in the battery compartment here, there's a little flap on the side, boomf, like just there, that allows for a cord to come out for it. And I've seen online you can get dummy batteries that go in here with a cord coming out going to a DC plug or a USB adapter. And I think I would really like to get one of those that is going to allow me to power this off an external battery bank rather than the Canon battery. Whether or not it would work with this one, I don't know, because the battery that's in here is 7.2 volts. Obviously USB power only puts out 5 volts, so maybe what that means is that I'll have to actually get a USB battery bank which puts out, you know, at least 7 or I've seen ones that do 7, 9 and 12 volts. Maybe that's what I need, I'm not sure. More research is required, but I think that's something I'd definitely like to do, and I could find some sort of way to, you know, make it part of the rig all in one rather than dangling. So that's probably one thing I'd like to do. New lens, new microphone, better stand for it, somehow attach a battery power bank to it so that I can make it last longer. Anyway, that's all from me today, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you've got any questions about it, feel free to drop them and I'll try my best to answer them. That's the update with what is happening with the cameras. Hopefully my videos get better. Thanks for watching. Choose to be happy, and I'll see you in the next one. Kite Ano.